Hi, I'm Nisha DeGaring, host of Good Things Utah, and I've been a longtime supporter of Todd's Belief Cast. I hope you find inspiration in the courageous stories shared by the amazing people Todd features on his show. The guests serve as shoulders for us to stand on, allowing us to see a little further and cultivate belief in oneself. Remember, you have the dignity and power to change. I encourage you to keep striving and believing in yourself. Enjoy today's podcast.
I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the incredible sponsors of the BeliefCast podcast. First, Craig from Craig Swap & Associates. If you need an attorney, he's your guy. Trustworthy, compassionate, always there when you need him most. Next, Wasatch Recovery, the greatest university on the planet, transforming lives one day at a time. Sandy from Minky Couture, the creative genius behind the most comfortable blanket you'll ever wrap yourself in. Comfort like no other. The visionaries behind Thread wallets. These wallets redefine style and functionality. Dave Philippi from Micro Plus, pushing the boundaries of nanotechnology and scientific research to bring us cutting-edge supplements for optimal health. The Ralphs and the Debenhams, creators of Mori Nutrition and Calm. Because if you're struggling with sleep, feeling stressed, or can't focus, Calm is your answer. Special thanks to the award-winning pianist Paul Cardall for his beautiful music that brings inspiration to every episode. And finally, Gab Wireless, letting kids be kids and giving parents the peace of mind they deserve. Right now, Gab is offering $25 off any device to new customers with no contract required. That's $25 off any Gab smartphone or smartwatch. Just go to gab.com/belief. That's where you'll get the best deal. That's gabb.com/belief. Thank you to all these amazing sponsors for supporting the BeliefCast podcast and empowering us to continue spreading positivity and inspiration to the world. And we are back. This is Todd Sylvester, your host of the BeliefCast. Thank you for tuning in. As you guys always know how much I appreciate you. Thanks to my sponsors that you just listened to, and also my good friend Paul Cardall with that beautiful music that was played here at the beginning, and you'll hear it at the end as well. He is one of my greatest heroes, and thank you for letting us use your music, Paul. As always, I bring on some amazing people who are doing amazing things, and today's going to be no different. Today I have the privilege of sitting down with an extraordinary woman, Emily Jane Deaton, EJ. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So happy to be here.
Emily is passionate advocate for addiction recovery and adoption, a devoted wife, a loving mother of 3. She and her husband, Danny, have dedicated their lives to helping families navigate the challenges of addiction through their work with Living Proof Recovery Services and their powerful podcast, Your Living Proof, which I've been on a couple times.
Yeah, you have.
It's been
the best episodes.
Emily's story goes even deeper, though. As a birth mother, she is a fierce advocate for adoption, using her voice to raise awareness and inspire hope. She is a lifelong learner with a deep love for studying the life of Jesus, and her faith fuels her mission to help others heal and find redemption. Emily's wisdom, experience, and compassion have impacted countless lives, and I'm beyond grateful and excited to hear for you guys to hear from her and her insights today. Get ready for an inspiring and life-changing conversation.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, that was dedicated to you. No, thank you, Emily, for being here. EJ, now I'm going to
now you're hearing
go back and forth. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll call you EJ today. We've known each other for a while now.
Yeah.
I admire you and Danny and all the stuff you do. And more importantly, I just love the way you carry yourself. You just have this light about you. You're a smile. You smile. You're positive. We all have our struggles and challenges, and I know that. But at the end of the day, just the ultimate way you carry yourself was really really touches my heart and inspires me.
Thank you. Gosh.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I hope you know that.
Trying.
Yeah. Why don't we start off with just letting our listeners know, where did you grow up, and tell us a little bit about your childhood?
Sure. I'd love to. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes. I was the first of my parents' children to be born outside of Utah. So they had 3 kids, and then my dad was in medical school, and he got his residency in St. Louis, and they moved there, and I was born just a few months after they moved there, and they never left. So I spent, my entire life in St. Louis,
Okay.
and I have 7 siblings.
Oh, wow.
So I come from a very big family of,
Where do you fall in line?
and I am 4th. So
You're 4th.
I have middle child syndrome, like
Big time.
No, big time. Like it's undeniable.
Yeah.
And so I have 4 sisters and 3 brothers, and we're all spread out all over the world now. But
Yeah, that's incredible.
But I do come from a big, huge, awesome family.
Yeah. So what was it like living in Missouri, and then what were some of the things you got involved with as a kid?
I would say growing up, it's funny when I look at my life, like if I were to split it up, I'm like, gosh, the first 18 years of my life were just so idyllic. Like they were just awesome. Like I don't know. I just loved life, and I had a lot of great friends. I was really involved in extracurricular things in high school. I didn't have any LDS friends, so I grew up around so many different belief systems that I got to know, and I actually really thrived in that.
Okay.
I loved learning about what other people believed and just kind of how they went about, their lives. And I didn't have any, like I said, I didn't have any friends that had the same belief system as me, but it was a very respectful thing.
Yeah, it was like non-threatening. It wasn't.
Totally. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm like, it was kind of funny. I was one of I think there were only 4 people that were LDS in my high school of like 2,500. And I never had to speak, and 2 of them were my siblings.
Right.
I never had to speak up for myself. Like people would always be like, hey, she doesn't drink, she doesn't do this. She's a Mormon,
So they were like helping you reinforce what you believed.
Exactly. Like I was like, oh, okay. Like I never really felt like I had to be too bold growing up there. And then I decided to go to school in Utah, and I wound up at BYU.
Okay.
Like all my other siblings and my parents and
Right.
everybody else that I knew.
Yeah.
And that's actually where my life, I would say, took a totally different turn.
Okay.
Which is really ironic.
Yeah. Well, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
So what happened? You get out here, you're going to BYU, the school of your faith, and
yes.
And obviously it's a great school, great atmosphere, and all of the above, but talk about that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. And I look back and I try to figure out what happened, like what shifted. I was finally around people that had the exact same beliefs as me, at least in thought.
Right.
But all of the sudden, I was observing that there were very few that held their beliefs the same way I did, and I was really impacted by that. It really affected me. I would say for like my first year out at BYU, I was really strong, and I felt like this was my place. Like this was so cool. Like there were actually really cute guys that were Mormon. Like cool. I can date.
Finally,
yeah. It was really fun. And then my second year, it was almost like that honeymoon phase was over, and all of a sudden I was a little tainted, and I got some new friends, and we kind of started doing different things than I was raised to do or what I believed to do. And I was only 19 years old, so obviously very impressionable.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And I wound up getting pregnant my sophomore year at BYU.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
No, like I could have never dreamed that would be, or had the nightmare.
Yeah.
That would be my path.
Wow. So this happens obviously, and it kind of goes against, what you've been,
yes,
striving for and living for your entire life.
My entire life.
So how was that emotionally for you? Because we all make mistakes. Everyone, we all do. And that's just a part of life. But that's a mistake, and you're like going, wow, how do I now deal with this? What was that like?
It was completely, I almost disassociated from it. Like it was so difficult for me to comprehend. Now, I had friends all through high school, obviously, that were having sex
Right.
No, I heard about it all the time. I mean, that was very normal, but me, no. And so to think that not only was I the one that sinned, but I was the one that got caught. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it's something people are going to notice.
Yeah, there's no hiding it, right? Like, I mean, there's tons of people that are doing the same thing, but they didn't get pregnant, or they didn't get caught, or they're the guy, and they don't have to, own that. And it was kind of like where I was just stunned that I was all of a sudden in this position where I had no I didn't have any way out of it. It was just it just was what it was. And to make matters worse, I had to call my parents and tell them that.
Oh, I can't even imagine that phone call.
Oh, I mean, I can't, now that I'm a parent, I also can't imagine.
Right.
I don't want to imagine that phone call, but
Yeah.
I made the phone call. My mom answered the phone, and I could not dance around. I mean, how do you sort of say this? I mean, I had to just say it. And I told her that I was pregnant.
Wow. How did she handle that?
She was just very quiet. She didn't get mad. She just said, "Wow, well, you'll probably need to come home."
Because she's still in Missouri.
She's in St. Louis.
Okay.
So I'm 1,100 miles away from all of my family. And she said, "I think Dad and I will call you when he gets home from work, and we'll make a plan. But I'm sorry you're probably not feeling good, and just hang tight. We'll call you." And that was a low point.
I bet.
My dad called, and I'll never forget what he said, which was, "Hey, Em, I am sure that you did not picture this year ending this way." It was in the springtime.
Yeah.
So I was just finishing up my winter semester, and he said, I'm going to fly out, and I'll help you drive your car home, because I think you'll probably need some time to think. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Man.
And I was kind of like, okay. I didn't get a talking to. I didn't get there was no, so yeah, I just kind of sat in it. Ended up going home. My dad was my bishop.
So your dad is your bishop. So you're not only dealing with this heavy consequence and experience, but now your dad, who's an actual bishop. Wow. And so he comes out, picks you up, and you drive back?
We got all my things, packed it in my little Honda Accord, and drove from Utah to St. Louis, about a 24-hour drive in the car, some time to think and talk. It was actually really quiet.
What was your emotional state at this point? Were you like really sad? Were you depressed? What were you feeling?
I actually think I was in shock. I almost couldn't accept that it was reality. I'd never been pregnant before, obviously. So I didn't even know how to feel. Like, I was just like, what am I going to do? I was just in denial, in shock. Obviously I wasn't showing. I didn't have any symptoms, to be honest. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of like, I guess the test says that I'm pregnant, but I don't believe it. Like, I still look the same, feel the same, all the things.
Yeah.
So I show up at home, and it started to hit me because I had two sisters. Like I said, I have, a big family. I had two sisters that lived in St. Louis at the time that were both married.
Okay.
And they were also both pregnant.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
So it was kind of like this mirror that I had to look at, but mine was broken. Like, they had these amazing husbands.
Yeah, like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Look how happy everyone
Yes.
is for them. They're planning their baby showers. They're finding all these cute things for their nursery. They're thinking of names. They have a husband that cares about, how they feel.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't even know if I should admit to anyone that I'm pregnant. Like, am I supposed to feel happy? Am I supposed to feel sad?
Yeah, what am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to feel? So, so that was immediately like kind of put me into a different state where I was like, oh, okay, this is real. I would say something very significant that happened at that time was, I don't remember if it was my first week home, but it was in the first month that I was home, and my dad came to my room one night and said, it was a Saturday night, and he said, hey, I know you probably don't feel like you should come to church. You also probably don't feel like you should just pray.
Right.
But I want you to know that you are always welcome at church on our bench.
Wow.
And I also want you to know that you need to pray right now more than ever. And your Heavenly Father wants to answer your prayers.
Wow.
And I was kind of like, oh, well, that's sweet, Bishop Dad.
Bishop Dad.
But I also was kind of like curious about that. Of course, he recognized that I felt completely unworthy to be at church. For sure, to sit on the bench with my family, who was perfect. And it got me thinking about prayer again, to be honest. I hadn't prayed in a long time, obviously.
Yeah,
my life had taken a different turn, and it just gave me the idea. I didn't act on it, but it gave me the idea that I could pray and that somebody would still love me and care and listen.
Wow.
A few weeks later, I decided to go to church with my family.
Wow.
And I did.
Does your whole family at this point know, like your sisters and brothers?
Everyone knew.
So at that point, everyone knows.
Everyone in my family. But nobody was talking about it, outside of the family.
Yeah.
But everyone knew. My younger siblings, I think, really didn't know what was going on, but they were aware that I was home for that reason. It was just a really difficult space.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
But what transpired, because my dad said those few words to me, was that I found the ability to pray again.
Wow.
I actually believed him.
Yeah.
I took a chance.
Yeah.
I took a chance. That's all I did. Was I just one night didn't even know what to say. I just said a one-word prayer, and it was help.
Wow.
I just said help. And I started to feel lovable, slowly, very, very slowly. I would say my journey then, it's funny, I look back and I'm like, I missed one day of seminary. I missed one day.
Right.
My dad wouldn't let me miss seminary, even if I couldn't go to school because I was too sick. I still had to go to early morning seminary.
You still went, yeah.
So I only missed one day, and it was because I was actively throwing up.
Wow.
So he was like, okay.
Okay, we'll let it slide.
Yeah, we'll let it slide. So I had all this information about Jesus, about this God who loved me. I had tons and tons of information.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the relationship.
Yeah.
So I had all this knowledge and like I could rattle off all this information, but I didn't have the connection. So I would say at this point in my life is where that intersected.
Wow.
And
okay.
I had the chance to take all this information that I could say about Jesus, and I actually got to know who he was.
That's powerful. I noticed on your Instagram, it says, correct me if I'm wrong, that which doesn't kill you leads you to Jesus.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes. What doesn't kill you brings you to Jesus.
Brings you to Jesus. And kind of like this is what you're saying is it actually brought you finally to get to know and have a relationship.
It pushed me to a point where I had to rely on something much bigger than me to clean up this mess that I had made. I knew that there was nothing that I had that could fix this or make it beautiful or make it even palatable. Like I was stuck and I had to surrender to it.
Wow.
And so it's interesting because I was so young. I was 19. I was 19 years old.
Yeah, and you're still just this kid.
I was just a kid.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, hey, by the way, you can do whatever you want. Like, do you want to marry this person? Mm-hmm. Like, we'll fly him out here. Let's meet. Yeah. Like, let's talk about that. Would you like to us to like raise the baby while you finish college? Like, we would be happy to raise this baby for you for a few years.
Wow.
Or you could stay here and we could, split it up. Or, you could think about adoption. Like, we just want you to know that you have choices.
Yeah.
And that's, again, where this really critical role of my Savior came in, because I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, what's the right thing here?
Well, all I knew was I saw what my sisters were doing, and I wanted that.
Yep. Yeah.
I wanted that, and I couldn't have it. And I knew that, and I felt it, and it was blaring in my face every Sunday when we had family dinners. I was like, yep, I don't have that.
Oh,
that's not what I could offer this child. And so I prayed every single day for guidance. And the big sticking point to me was that I had my agency.
Yeah.
I knew that I had my agency and that I was gifted this amazing family. And I felt so sorry for this little boy that I was carrying that I took his agency. I felt like I took it. Like, I was like, oh, you're going to have to be in this horrible situation and it's my fault. It's because of me. And that's not fair.
Yeah, that's
and I didn't
to think that. Yeah.
I didn't like that. Like,
Yeah.
it really, really rubbed me wrong that I'm like, oh, well, we all got to choose our families and we knew each other before we came to this earth. That was my belief. And then I thought about my son and I thought, why didn't he get to?
Yeah.
Why did he have to be put in this horrible situation where he can't win?
Yeah.
Like, I can't be a mom and a dad. I know I can't. Like,
yeah.
And it's just a really sacred experience. But I took that prayer to my Heavenly Father and just said, I want to give him this, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Whatever that means, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means, but I'll need you to tell me because he's coming.
Yeah.
We're on a time frame.
Yeah, this is happening.
This is happening and
Yeah.
I can't stop it. And I need to know what the answer is in a very clear way.
Yeah.
And boy, did he deliver that. He almost immediately made me feel this sense of comfort that, no, my son chose who his family was.
Wow.
And thank you for thinking of that, because he did. And I'm going to show you who that is.
Wow.
And that's when I started thinking about adoption. And again, that was my last place effort. I wanted that last.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the last thing to consider.
Mm-hmm. But that was what kept coming to me. And
meaning it kept coming to you as a way, this is the answer. This is what I ultimately need to do.
What kept coming was, your son has a family.
Okay. Wow.
And it became crystal clear that I was not going to be his mother. I would always be his birth mother, but I would never be his guardian, his mother.
Yeah.
And I went, this was back in the day when it was LDS Family Services. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I know.
But it was even back in the day when things weren't digital, right? Yeah. So I walk into my
that's funny.
my social worker's office, and I kid you not, I almost passed out looking at his desk full of binders. I mean, like 10-inch binders, those huge ones.
I can picture that too.
Yes,
I can see that.
Just those big leather binders full of all of these pages and pages, thousands of families that were looking to adopt. And I'm supposed to filter through that and go, okay, here they are. Gosh. And so I went in one day to talk to him about it, and we had talked a lot about what would be the perfect family for this boy. What did that mean for me? And we had made all these lists, like, oh, they have to have this and they have to have that. These are the kinds of people that would be honored to have my son. And he started, he went through the process of kind of, filtering things. So I sat on this little uncomfortable couch next to my mom. I was 7.5 months pregnant. Wow. And I'm pregnant with a boy, which is all I ever wanted. I just wanted a boy. I never wanted a daughter. I just always wanted boys. And here I am pregnant with this little boy. And he says, hey, can I show you these people? I did my homework. You told me the list, and here they are. I've got 20 right here for you to look at. And he showed me 3. And I was like, I'm done. I started physically getting sick. I was like, I can't do this. And I looked at my mom, and she saw the look in my eye and was like, hey, we're going to stop this. We're not going to have this conversation.
We need to pause this.
We're going to pause. And he was like, no problem. So we just sat and talked while I sobbed for about 15 minutes. And then he said, hey, Emily, I do not want to upset you, but I have been fasting and praying about this too. And I have this family here, and I'm going to be honest with you. They actually don't fit all of the criteria that you set out.
Yeah.
But the Spirit keeps telling me to show you this family. And I was like, do what you got to do.
Yeah. All right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I am lost. So whatever. And he literally handed me this little sheet of paper that was inside of one of those little covers. All I saw was this picture. And I said, that's them. And he said, what? He said, well, hold on.
Yeah.
You didn't read their letter. That's on the back. You need to read their letter. And I said, I don't need to read that letter. I know that is my son's family.
Really?
And my mom looked at me like I was insane. Like she was like, no, you need to read that letter, girl. And I was like, okay. And I turned the letter over, and the first sentence was almost verbatim words that I had repeated in my prayer for 7 months.
Whoa.
And I just was like, hey, that's them. I don't know whatever criteria I told you, but this is my son's family. Could you just call them right now and tell them they're having a boy in about a month? And he said, sure. And I wish it was that simple. I wish the story ended all peacefully and perfect like that. Although I will say that it's interesting. Prayer is interesting for me because you can pray for certain things that you know of, but there's a lot of things you don't anticipate needing that you can't pray for.
Yeah.
You don't know what's in the future. You don't know how you're going to feel. So there were a lot of prayers I never said that my Heavenly Father answered just through these angels, these people that he put in my life. The rest of the story is beautiful. I had, I met the family. They were amazing.
Wow.
I didn't know how I should feel when I met them. Just like a week later after this. Yeah. But I immediately felt the impulse to just hug this woman that
almost confirming what you already kind of knew. Like,
yeah,
these are the people that need this.
I saw her and I wanted to be mad at her. Yeah. I wanted to hate her a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course you want my baby. Cool. Good for you.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. I just loved her. And I loved him. And I loved their little boy that they already had. And I delivered my beautiful boy. And we had 2 heavenly days together in the hospital. Wow. Where I did not sleep because I didn't want to miss a single sound that he made. Thank you. I didn't want to miss a thing.
Right.
And heaven was there. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Is that's where I truly gained a testimony that every spirit is so loved, and every single spirit is so known. I received a beautiful blessing in that hospital bed with my son in my arms from my dad. I still didn't understand how things were going to work. I just knew that I wasn't alone.
And what a blessing to have that in that really difficult time, to feel like you weren't alone.
Yeah.
Right? And at the same time, what I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's you're finally starting getting like a personal relationship with the God you've been learning about and worshiping your entire life.
Yeah.
With all the knowledge and the information, like you were saying, but now it's like, this is real.
Yeah. Like I felt him with me. I was able to do things that are unexplainable.
Yep.
Because it isn't normal for a woman to give birth and give that baby to another woman. Mm-mm. That isn't normal.
Yeah, it's not the way it's meant to be.
It's not.
Yep.
It's not.
Yeah.
And that caused massive trauma and chaos for me that I only made it through because of my relationship with the Savior and because he so lovingly walked me through that experience. Yeah, wow. Otherwise, it doesn't, you can't, it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
It does, you can't heal. You can't. And, that, I didn't know it then, but that experience prepared me for so much of my future that I would need to lean on, because it was where I realized what a true rescuer my Savior is.
Yeah.
He was not ashamed of me. He came into that.
Yeah, he wasn't condemning you or anything.
Well, and it wasn't like, hey, you idiot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to help you out with your son.
Yeah.
You knew better. It was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I want to help you.
Wow.
I want to help you with this. And I want what's best for you and him and everyone. And he is the only one that could possibly do that, not me.
It gives me chills. You know, it reminds me, my favorite parable in the New Testament is the parable of the prodigal son.
Yes.
Right? And prodigal means wasteful son. This kid goes and blows it all and wastes everything. And if you remember in the story, when this kid's walking back to his father's home, he's dejected. And it's kind of like you driving back from BYU to Missouri, right?
Yep.
And he's lost everything. He's feeling shame and guilt, and you know, the list goes on. And the first thing the father has, it says, when he saw him from a great distance, was compassion. Yes. And then runs to him. Yes. So compassion first, runs to him, hugs him, kisses him, and then they throw a party.
And then
And I love that because I think it describes the character of the God we say we're worshiping here, right?
Yes.
And that's what you experienced.
Yes, that is like, honestly, that's the perfect description of the God that I came to know in a very, very tangible way.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense to look back at that experience and to feel joy. And I do.
Wow. That's incredible.
I do. Yeah. Where there was once excruciating pain, there's now unexplainable joy.
Yeah, that is remarkable.
And that could only happen through the grace offered in Jesus Christ. And there's just the ultimate love.
Yeah.
It kind of, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me, and I guess that experience formed me moving forward in every way, right?
Yeah.
To be able to receive that and to know the transformation that's possible with a person, me.
Yeah.
It allowed me to see things differently, see people differently, see their scenarios differently, their experiences.
Yeah.
And to have so much hope.
So is it fair to say, EJ, that you look back on this, yes, you experience the joy now, you can look at it with joy in your heart, and it was really like what you needed.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. I look at it and I think, would I sign up for that again? I mean,
yeah, probably not.
No, but the truth about all of our suffering is it's sanctifying.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the gift. That's the whole purpose, right?
Yeah.
What is the point of suffering if we can't use it in the future to mourn with others who mourn?
Yeah.
That taught me how to do that. I had to reach a level so dark and so low and be brought out of that. And now because of that, I understand when people are like, I can't.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I know you think that, but it's crazy. It actually is completely possible. Yeah. And not on your own merits, by the way. Like, no,
sure.
not, you're right. You can't do it. But with the Savior, absolutely any of this can be cleaned up, repaired, brought into this beautiful tapestry that you could have never comprehended was possible. Yes, all of that's possible.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. I had the opportunity and blessing to interview a bunch of people who have been, they've had near-death experiences, and without fail, when they go basically get to stand before God and get to come back here and talk about it, they say exactly what you just said. Like they have this fear initially where like, oh my gosh, I have screwed up my life in so many ways. I'm doing some horrible things.
Yeah.
and they're like, oh my God, God's going to, condemn me.
Yeah.
And every story always comes back and says, no, it was just nothing but love and compassion.
So much love.
Just,
so much.
And really they come back, and one of the messages was, we're so hard on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that way. God's not an umpire ready to count us out, strike 3 and you're out of here.
No, he's ready to call you home and be like, come on.
Yeah. Man, thank you for, wow, what a story. I didn't know this about your life. So thank you for being so vulnerable.
Oh,
Wow.
Honestly, I tell that I enjoy telling that story only because it illustrates perfectly how God can work through a person.
Yeah.
For his purposes to become realized. Truly. And I believe with all my heart that my son is where he's supposed to be and always was supposed to be, and none of that was a mistake. I just know I know it, and it's such a gift to know that.
That's amazing. Thank
Truly.
you for sharing that. Wow. Man, that just is so remarkable. And again, it really makes me realize why you are who you are today. Even now, knowing that, it makes it even make more sense to me why you do what you do, the way you carry yourself. Like I mentioned in the beginning, it's always inspired me. I know you have a love for those who are suffering. I mean, you have a deep love for them, and now it makes a lot more sense. And is it fair to say that? Because I have this saying, we've talked about this, I think, even on your podcast, that life happens for us.
Yes.
And really that happened for you, which led you to be so good at what you do now and what you and Danny get involved with now, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think about it and I'm like, there's no way that I could actually do what I'm doing right now had that not happened.
Yeah.
I lean on that experience so much. And the interesting thing is that experience led me to another one where I got married shortly after. I don't know if you know this. I got married shortly after that.
I think I did know that, but
yeah. I got married and then divorced 2 years later. And basically I was left with this, I guess it was my understanding that I wasn't lovable and my past was too messy. Okay. And to work through that, I could not have survived that experience again had I not had my previous one.
Right.
Where I knew how to connect with my Savior directly to find how do I rise out of this? How do I find my way out of this darkness? How do I not let somebody else's beliefs about me dictate how I feel about myself? How do I find my worth again?
Yeah.
So I look at that, and then again, I look at what we do now. Now I'm married. I have 3 beautiful children.
Yeah.
I'm living my purpose with my spouse.
Yeah.
Who, if you know his story, he shouldn't be here.
Yeah, he shouldn't be here.
And I just, to me, it's such an amazing thing to look at what it means to have a consecrated life, which is what I really think that Danny and I decided to do. We got married, we started our family, we decided to dedicate all of our time and energy towards helping families who have someone struggling with addiction.
Yeah.
It's a dark road.
Yep, it is.
It's a tough time.
And for those that don't know, it's called Your Living Proof.
Yes.
Which is beautiful. I love that.
Yes.
You're living proof that you can do this and you're fantastic and you can overcome your trials and your adversity.
Yeah. And again, did we want to do that? No. I can honestly say that when I got married to Danny, I was like, oh, good. Now, finally, I can have a break. I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to just raise my kids.
Yeah.
Just kind of
be in the background a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. I would love to just kind of fade into the background and be, doing my thing. And that was so obvious that is not what God wanted for us in any way. So we started our company, Your Living Proof. We started a podcast. We realized that we have this skill set to be able to reach people who feel that they are completely on an island and that they have no way to get back.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because we work with the families, right?
Yeah,
We're not working with those who are in the addiction. We are working with those who are the closest to them.
Yeah.
Because their journey is actually mirroring the other person in terms of how lost they feel and how anxious they feel and how fearful they are about their future and have no roadmap. And our program helps them really clearly see, okay, we do have a mess here.
Yeah.
Here are the steps forward. Here's what will be required. Here's how you regain your peace because you need it. You're going to need it.
You're going to need it.
You're really going to need it. And it's been such a beautiful journey to go on once again. I'm like, Heavenly Father, really? You want me to do this? Will you show me how? I don't know how to do this. So it's been this really, really crazy, awesome journey.
Yeah.
For the last,
yeah. How long have you guys been doing it? 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And, like we said earlier, I've been on your podcast a couple times. Again, being on there with you two is awesome. It's just, the energy, the spirit just flows, and we've had such amazing conversations.
Yes, we have.
Again, and it's a testament to you two and just how you guys carry yourselves. And, this Your Living Proof services is really making a huge impact and difference in people's lives. And it gives the family some hope because when they're dealing with someone who's struggling with addiction, no one knows what to do. No one has a clue. We can Google stuff. We can do all, but at the end of the day, when you guys can come in and face to face and say, hey guys, we've got the steps, like you said, we got a plan.
Yep.
What hope that has to bring to that family.
It's really, really cool to be able to, we've experienced so many miracles.
Yeah.
And it's almost like having a front row seat to like God just like doing his beautiful things that he does. I'm like, how did we get so lucky? It's just it's so incredible. But what you just said is the most true thing. And it's why we do what we do. And it's because
so needed.
We know how critical families are. Mm-hmm. And in each of our stories differently, this need and desire for a solid family and that structure and that stability was so huge. And what addiction does is it takes one person that's vulnerable and it allows them to just rattle through the rest of the family till everyone is kind of almost like shaken to pieces.
To pieces, yeah.
And so, it's not a popular line of work. There's a million amazing, like the one I'm at today, facilities to help that healing process that's so critical for the addicted loved one.
Yeah.
But the people that are standing behind them are literally like, how? What? What's my role? What isn't my role? How do I motivate them? How do I keep them accountable? All these things.
Well, not only that, it's a traumatic thing. How do I deal with this trauma that I've been through, right?
Exactly. It's so traumatic. I mean, half of them, when we first start working with them, literally, they can't even figure out how to get onto the Zoom call because they're just so frazzled. And I'm like, listen, this is not how life, we know you've gotten used to life like this, but it doesn't have to stay like this. And there's so much healing that can be done in just one person that affects the way everyone else around them feels. And it is so amazing. It is,
and it's an amazing service for people who that need it so desperately.
Yeah.
I want to share a quote with you, or it's more of a statement.
Yeah.
And I've shared this with another person before, but as I was thinking about you today and like, what would I want to share with EJ? It's this, and I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little long. It's just a little long.
I love it.
Here we go. Here's how it starts. Every saint has a past. Every sinner has a future. A reminder that we're all unfinished stories, scarred by our mistakes, yet redeemed by the hope of what's to come. It whispers that even in the darkest moments can be stepping stones to light. That redemption isn't reserved for the perfect. No, it's for the broken, the flawed, the ones who have fallen and dared to rise again. The past doesn't define you. It shapes you. And your future, well, hell, that's where you'll shine. And that reminds me of you.
That's such a beautiful quote. I love it.
It's by Oscar Wilde, by the way.
I was going to say the very beginning of that quote I have in my house on a little
this one right here. Every
saint has a sinner.
Yeah.
Or every saint has a
past, and every sinner has a future. Yeah.
And that blankets all of humanity. We are all.
Well said. Blankets all of humanity. That there's a quote right there.
But it really is true.
Love that.
We are all. I think, in terms of addiction, it's really obvious. Like, ooh, that person is really struggling. They have sinned with a girl that's pregnant and not married. That person is really struggling. But we all are in different ways, with our vices, with our just our own trauma that has followed us, that we're trying to work through and we're trying to process and become better. What I'm so grateful for is just the chance to do it better every single day.
Yeah.
Every day we have this fresh slate.
Yeah.
Every day we have an opportunity to choose to think the best.
Yeah.
That the world and God is for me, not against me.
Yeah.
I say
That's
that
awesome.
like every day. Like I'm like, I have to remind myself, because we all get discouraged.
Yeah.
That we're not making a big enough impact, that we're not doing enough, that we aren't enough, all these things.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself, hey, God is working for me.
Yeah.
Everything that's important to me is important to him.
Yeah.
I can trace this back to that experience of this poor little 19-year-old girl. He was for me in that moment, and always. He was with me then. He was fighting for me then. He had plans then. Jeremiah 29:11, it's my favorite. For I know the plans I have for you, and they're plans for good.
Yeah, it's not there to harm you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
We are the ones that harm ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
And here God's just going, come on, just let me work through you.
Yeah.
Let me work in you. Let me take all of this trauma and this mess and use it to repurpose it for good.
Right.
And that's truly what I feel like Danny and I have tried to do since we joined forces when we got married.
Yeah.
Which is, let's consecrate all of this pain and the suffering and these stories, and let's not only use it for good, but let's repurpose it to help other people.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And that's exactly what you guys are doing.
We're trying.
I know you are. It's really fun to watch too. I really love all the good you're doing. If there's someone listening to your voice right now, they're tuning into this episode, they're listening to you, and they're struggling, and they're in a dark, dark place, what would you tell that person right now?
I would tell them, you are surrounded by people. It always feels so dark. It does when you're in that space. And I still struggle with going to that space. We all do.
Yeah,
I feel like,
right, yeah.
You're not there alone. Yes, it may be dark right now, but that doesn't mean God isn't there.
Yeah.
And I think that is such a critical thing to remember. And it's a lie that Satan whispers in our ears, which is, when it's dark, you're alone. Like, no one cares about you. No one's helping you. No one's working for you. And that's a lie. That's actually where I feel like God does some of his best work, is in that darkness, where he meets you right there. And he says, do you trust me? Will you trust me with this?
Yeah.
Or are you going to keep doing what you want to do?
Yeah.
Are you going to lean into your ideas, or are you going to let me have mine? Will you follow me out of this darkness? Or do you just want to stay here by yourself and come up with your own ideas? And it's tough because it takes time.
Yeah.
But when you consistently just go go towards him instead of stay in that state where it's just dark.
Yeah.
If you just consistently believe, no, he's here with me, and look for him throughout the day, you'll find him.
Yeah.
Sometimes I even like put a note in my phone on days where I'm feeling that kind of darkness, because it creeps in.
Yeah.
I feel like it does. Yeah. And I'll go, okay, well, today I'm going to write down, I'm just going to make a note of all the little places that I see him, the little tender mercies, the little miracles, just the little tiny things that show me that he's totally aware of what I'm thinking about, what I'm worried about, and what I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
And I have never gone throughout that day and not had at least 5 or 6 things show up.
Wow. Well said. Thank you for sharing that. That was really powerful. Thank you. You know, if someone wants to reach out to you and learn more about what you do,
please do.
What's the best way for them to do that?
Go to Instagram, and you can either go to my handle at EEEJ, because Emily Jane, or you can go to at Your Living Proof, YOUR, Your Living Proof. And gosh, we have just the best community there. It is such a powerful group of humans that are just saying, no, we're not going to lay down and just continue in this chaos and misery. And we want to learn, and we want to feel empowered so that we can get our loved one back, and then we can get our family back. And you'll have a very safe place there.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, I encourage everyone listening to this right now to go check out what you guys are doing. Reach out to you guys. If you have a loved one who's struggling with addiction, especially reach out to EJ and Danny. They will definitely make a difference. And if they're not the quite fit, they got so many resources they can lead you to, which is even also a beautiful thing, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I want to just say this real quick. A shout out to your parents for just doing their best to deal with a really hard situation too. I mean, they may have not handled it perfectly, but a shout out to them that they were like, hey, what do you want to do? We're here to support, come sit on the bench with us. I mean, these little things probably went a million miles for you.
Oh,
so I just want to give them a shout out.
Thank you. And I agree. And they're on a mission right now in Paris.
Oh, okay.
And I say a huge shout out to them, because I don't know if I could have had the composure that they did, but I'm telling you, it does make an impact. So any parent that's questioning, am I a good parent? Have I taught them? I will say this. I don't remember anything that I learned in seminary, really. I don't really remember anything we learned in family home evening. But I do remember how my parents made me feel when I came home in that state.
Wow. That gives me just, wow.
I do remember how they aligned their actions with their words.
Amazing. And I just thought of that. I was like, I want to make sure we give some, a proper shout out to them, because that really is truly what you needed in that moment, And again, they didn't shame you. They didn't guilt you. They didn't do any of those things. You're already doing that to yourself.
They didn't need to.
They didn't need to. But man, I learned a lot about you today, and it makes me even love you more.
Thanks.
And you're amazing.
Thank you.
I hope you know that. Like, you really, truly are. And, I think the world of you and Danny and your family, and I really do admire what you're doing, and I support it 1,000%.
You are an amazing supporter of us, and we're always so grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I don't know what to say. Just thanks for being here today and being vulnerable with us.
Yeah, so glad to be here.
Yeah, okay. Well, guys, I'm sure your heart and your soul is full right now. Mine is, and I'm so grateful for EJ. And please reach out to her and to Danny and just see what they're doing. And if you have a loved one who's struggling, send them a link to this episode and let them listen to it. It'll break the ice, and you can follow back up with them. What'd you think? And it will really make a difference. Families out there, if you have a daughter who getting pregnant at a young age and they weren't planning on that and they're struggling, man, please let them listen to Emily's story, because that will really brighten their day and help them through a really difficult time. So anyway, I love you guys. Thanks to my sponsors. Thanks again for all you do, Emily.
Thank you.
You're the best. Till next time, everyone. Take care.